observer tonight.
I'm observer. I'll do a little introduction.
Okay.
So, the reason I sort of picked this was my plan. One of my numerous plans that has gone off the rails was, oh, I want to read more plays, and I didn't. I like reading plays because I find that dialogue is, for me, is much more interesting than description, which is also why I like comic books, etc. What helped with this was, oh, it's like it's four people, so if there's like a way to do it, like this is the way, and it's kind of about, again, a situation of characters trapped in hell. So very good stuff. So this was actually the one.
It's the guard.
It's the guard. Oh no. I'm behaving.
Valet has arrived.
No notes, perfect. And so yeah, and this is when I wanted to read for a while, just because the concept is interesting, especially like, you know, spoiler for The Good Place. This is essentially the spoiler of season 1 of The Good Place. So,
oh, interesting.
So there you go. So you will see like that kind of relate, except instead of with good people, it's with terrible people.
Wait, when was this play written?
Oh, let's find out. So, and it's originally in French, so some of the language doesn't quite match up, but the translation that you have matches the translation that I read.
Okay.
So in the 1940s, it looked like. Yeah, 1947.
Okay, awesome. That's amazing.
So, you will notice some, you know, caution. There's some negative terms that get thrown around, and of course, like predatory lesbian trope galore, toxic masculinity, etc., etc. But have fun with it. Go wild, enjoy, and thank you so much for indulging me on this silly whim. Where this is something I kind of wanted to do over the break, but never got the nerve to like set anything up, because also I just don't have the energy, because working a full-time job during a pandemic where you also have a breakdown, fun stuff doesn't come through as well as it does. So it's kind of nice to just be like, you know what, let's do like an art faggy reading. So enjoy, and I will recline. So, here, like I could do like no exit.
No exit.
No exit.
Just a pit.
All right, let's do this. Who's Garcin?
That's me.
Oh yeah, we should introduce. Yeah, Casey will be Garcin.
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 Okay, Garcin.
Garcin. Yeah.
No,
like Carson and not yeah. And then Ace is going to be Inez.
the bitch.
The bitch. The damn bitch. Anthony will be playing the part of Estelle.
Hello, I brought my purse.
Oh, good.
I thought I needed the purse.
You each have a purse.
Oh,
I don't have a purse.
But you also all each need a knife or something.
I have a spatula.
Excellent.
Ah!
And Salem will be playing the part of the valet. Yeah. And I see he took the notes to heart, and that's very good. I'm very excited. All right. Fade in.
All right.
And who's going to give the action?
Ambrose just did. He's like faded.
The stage actions, you can kind of like, I don't know. If you want to say what you're supposed to be doing out loud, go for it. Because the problem is I had to highlight them because I had to structure the whole thing, because otherwise it was like a wall of text. Yeah. So obviously some of the highlighted directions are like the indication of how you're supposed to be saying things. Some of them are what's going on in stage, so you can decide how you want to do it.
Mm-hmm. All right, I dig it.
Okay. So here we are.
Yes, Mr. Garcin.
And this is what it looks like?
Yes.
Second Empire furniture, I observe. Well, well, I dare say one gets used to it in time.
Some do, some don't.
Are all the other rooms like this one?
How could they be? Father for all sorts. Asians and Indians, for instance. What use would they have for a second empire chair?
And what do you suppose I have for one? Do you know who I was? Oh well, it's no great matter. And to tell the truth, I have quite a habit of living among furniture that I didn't relish, and in false positions, I'd even come to like it. A false position in a Louis Philippe dining room. You know the style? Well, that had its points, you know. Bogus in bogus, so to speak.
And you'll find that living in a second empire drawing room has its point.
Really? Yes. Yes, I dare say. Still, I certainly didn't expect this. You know what they tell us down here?
What about?
About this residence?
Really? Sir, how could you believe such cock and ball stories told by people who'd never set foot here? For, of course, if they had.
Quite so. But I say, where are the instruments of torture?
The what?
The racks and red hot pincers and all the other paraphernalia.
Oh, you little jokes there.
My little joke? Oh, I see. No, I wasn't joking. No mirrors, I notice. No windows. Only to be expected, and nothing breakable. But damn it all! They might have left me my toothbrush.
That's good. So I think I'll get over your, what do you call it, sense of human dignity. Excuse me, smiling.
I ask you to be more polite. I quite realize the position I'm in. I won't tolerate.
Sorry, sir. No offense meant, but all our guests ask me the same question. Silly questions. If you'll pardon me saying so, what's the torture chamber? That's the first thing they ask. All of them. They don't bother their heads about the bathroom requests that I can assure you. But after a bit, when they've got their nerve back, they start in about their toothbrushes and whatnot. Good heaven, Mr. Garcin, can't you use your brain? What, I ask you, would be the point of brushing your teeth?
Yes, of course you're right. And why should one want to see oneself in a looking glass? With that bronze contraption on the mantelpiece, that's another story. I suppose there will be times when I stare my eyes out at it. Stare my eyes out. See what I mean? All right, let's put our cards on the table. I assure you I'm quite conscious of my position. Shall I tell you what it feels like? A man's drowning, choking, sinking by inches till his own eyes are just above water. And what does he see? A bronze atrocity by, what's the fellow's name? Barbadian? A collector's piece? As in a nightmare? That's their idea, isn't it? No. I suppose you're under orders not to answer questions, and I won't insist. But don't forget, my man, I've got a good notion of what's coming to me. So don't you boast you've caught me off guard. I'm facing the situation, facing it. So that's that. No toothbrush and no bed either. One never sleeps, I take it.
That's so.
Just as I expected. Why should one sleep? A sort of drowsiness steals on you, tickles you behind the ears, and you feel your eyes closing, but why sleep? You lie down on the sofa, and in a flash, sleep flies away, miles and miles away. So you rub your eyes, get up, and it starts all over again.
Romantic. That's what you are.
Will you keep quiet, please? I won't make a scene. I shan't be sorry for myself. I'll face the situation. As I've said just now, face it fairly and squarely. I won't have it springing at me from behind before I time to size it up. And you call that being romantic? So it comes to this: one doesn't need rest. Why bother about sleep if one isn't sleepy? That stands to reason, doesn't it? Wait a minute. There's something snag somewhere. Something disagreeable. Why now should it be disagreeable?
What do you mean by that?
See, it's life without a break.
What do you mean by that?
What do I mean? I thought as much. That's why there's something so beastly, so damn bad-mannered in the way you stare at me. They're paralyzed.
What are you talking about?
Your eyelids. We move ours up and down. Blinking, we call it. It's like a small black shutter that clicks down and makes a break. Everything goes black. One's eyes are moistened. You can't imagine how restful, refreshing it is. 4,000 little rests per hour. 4,000 little respites. Just think. So that's the idea. I'm to live without eyelids. Don't act the fool. You know what I mean. No eyelids, no sleep. It follows, doesn't it? I shall never sleep again. But then, how shall I endure my own company? Try to understand, you see. I'm fond of teasing. It's second nature with me. And I'm used to teasing myself, plaguing myself if you prefer. I don't tease nicely, but I can't go on doing that without a break. Down there, I had my nights. I slept. I always had my good nights. By way of compensation, I suppose. And happy little dreams. There was a green field, just an ordinary field. I used to stroll in it. Is it daytime now?
Can't you see? The lights are on.
Oh, yes, I've got it. It's your daytime. And outside?
Outside?
Damn it! You know what I mean! Beyond that wall!
There is a passage.
And at the end of the passage?
Oh, there is more rooms, more passages and stairs.
And what lies beyond them?
That's all.
But surely you have a day off sometimes. Where do you go?
To my uncle's place. He's the head valet here. He has a room on the third floor.
I should have guessed as much. Where's the light switch?
There isn't any.
What? Can't one turn off the light?
Oh, the management can cut off the current if they want to, but I can't remember their having done so on this floor. We have all the electricity we want.
So one has to live with one's eyes open all the time.
To live, did you say?
Don't. Let's quibble over words. With one's eyes open forever. Always broad daylight in my eyes and in my head. And I suppose I took that contraption on the mantelpiece and dropped it on the lamp. Wouldn't go out.
You can't move it. It's too heavy.
You're right.
Very well, sir. If you don't need me anymore, I'll be off.
What? You're going? Wait! That's a bell, isn't it? And if I ring, you're bound to come?
Well, yes, that's so in a way, but you can never be sure about the bell. There's something wrong with the wiring and it doesn't always work.
It's working all right.
So it is. But I shouldn't count on it too much if I wear you. It's capricious. Well, I really must go now. Yes, sir?
No, never mind.
Can't you see an ordinary paper bag?
Oh.
What?
What's this?
Can't you see an ordinary paper? No.
Are there books here?
No.
Then what's the use of this? Very well. You can go.
Garcin is by himself. He goes to the bronze ornament and strikes it reflectively. Sits down, then gets up. Goes to the bell, pushes and pushes the button. The bell remains silent. He tries 2 or 3 times without success. Then he tries to open the door without success. He calls the valet several times.
Valet! Valet!
But gets no result. He beats the door with his fist, still calling for the valet.
Valet! Valet!
Suddenly, he grows calm and sits down again. At that same moment, the door opens and Inez enters, followed by the valet.
Did you call, sir?
No.
This is your room, ma'am. If there is any information you require, most of our guests have quite a lot to ask me, but I won't insist. Anyhow, as regret the toothbrushes and the electric hoe and that thing on the mental shelf, this gentleman can tell you anything you want to know, as well as I could. We've had a little chat, him and me.
The valet leaves.
Where's Florence? Didn't you hear? I asked you about Florence. Where is she?
I haven't an idea.
That's the way it works, is it? Torture by separation. Well, as far as I'm concerned, you won't get anywhere. Florence was a tiresome little fool, and I shan't miss her in the least.
I beg your pardon. Who do you suppose I am?
You? Why, the torturer, of course.
Well, that's a good one. Too comic for words. I, the torturer. So you came in here, had a look at me, and thought I was, one of the staff? Of course, it's that silly fellow's fault. He shouldn't have introduced us. A torturer indeed. I'm Joseph Garcin, journalist and man of letters by profession. And as we're both in the same boat now, so to speak, might I ask you, Mrs.?
Not Mrs. I'm unmarried.
Right. That's a start anyway. Well, now that we've broken the ice, do you really think I look like a torturer? And by the way, how does one recognize torturers when one sees them? Evidently, you've ideas on the subject.
They look frightened.
Frightened? But how ridiculous. Of whom should they be frightened? Of their victims?
Laugh away, but I know what I'm talking about. I've often watched my face in the glass.
In the glass? How beastly of them. They've removed everything in the least resembling glass. Anyway, I can assure you I'm not frightened. Not that I take my position lightly. I realize its gravity only too well, but I'm not afraid.
That's your affair. Must you be here all the time? Or do you take a stroll outside now and then?
The door's locked.
Oh, that's too bad.
I can quite understand that it bores you having me here, and I too, well, quite frankly, I'd rather be alone. I want to think things out, you know, to set my life in order, and one does that better by oneself. But I'm sure we'll manage to pull along together somehow. I'm no talker. I don't move much. In fact, I'm a peaceful sort of fellow. Only, if I may venture on a suggestion, we should both make a point of being extremely courteous of each other. That will ease the situation for us both.
I'm not polite.
Then I must be polite for two.
Your mouth.
I beg your pardon?
Can't you keep your mouth still? You keep twisting it about all the time. It's grotesque.
So sorry, I wasn't aware of it.
That's just what I reproach you with. There you are. You talk about politeness and you don't even try to control your face. Remember, you're not alone. You've no right to inflict the sight of your fear on me.
How about you? Aren't you afraid?
What would be the use? There was some point in being afraid before, while one still had hope.
There's no more hope, but it's still before. We haven't yet begun to suffer.
That's so. Well, what's going to happen?
What do you do?
I don't know. I'm waiting.
Sorry.
No, don't look up. I know you're hiding with your hands. I know you've got no face left.
What?
What?
But I don't know you.
I don't know you.
Oh, I'm not the
What?
torturer,
But
madame.
I don't know you.
I'm not the torturer, madame.
I never thought you were. I thought you were someone that was trying to play a rather nasty trick on me. Is anybody else coming?
No, ma'am. No one else is coming.
Oh, well then we're to stay here by ourselves, the three of us. This gentleman, this lady, and myself.
There's nothing to laugh about.
It's so sofas. They're so hideous. And just look how they've been arranged. It makes me think of New Year's Day, when I used to visit that old boring aunt of mine, Aunt Mary. Her house was full of horrors like that. I suppose each of us has a sofa of his own. Is that mine? But you can't expect me to sit on that one. It would be too horrible for words. I'm in Super Mario Blue and it's Zelda Green.
Would you prefer mine?
The claret colored one, you mean? Oh, well, that's sweet of you, dear, but really, no. I don't think it would be so much better. What's the good of worrying, anyhow? We've got to take what comes to us, and I'll stick to the green one. I'm the only one who might do. The only one who might do in a pinch is that gentleman's.
Did you hear, Mr. Garcin?
Oh, the sofa, you mean? So sorry. Please, take it, madame.
Ooh, thank you. Well, as we're to live together, I suppose we best introduce ourselves. I am Raoul, Estelle Royal.
And I'm Inèz Serrano. Very pleased to meet you.
Joseph Garcin.
Do you require me any longer?
No, you may go. I'll ring when I need you.
You're very pretty. I wish we'd had some flowers to welcome you with.
Flowers? Oh, yes, I loved flowers. Only they'd fade so quickly here, wouldn't they? So stuffy. Well, the great thing is keep as cheerful as we can, don't you agree? Of course, you two are...
Yes, last week. What about you?
I'm quite recent. Yesterday, as a matter of fact. The ceremony is not quite over. The wind's blowing my sister's veil all over the place. Oh, she's trying her best not to cry. Oh, come here, make another effort. That's better. Two little tears are twinkling under the black veil. Oh dear, what a sight. What a sight Olga looks like this morning. Holding my sister's arm, helping her along. She's not crying, and I don't blame her. Tears always mess up one's face, don't they? Olga was a bosom friend, you know.
Did you suffer much?
Oh, no. I was only half conscious, mostly.
What was it?
Pneumonia. But it's over now. They're leaving the cemetery. Goodbye. Goodbye. Oh, darlings. Oh, quite a crowd, aren't they? My husband stayed at home, prostrated with grief. Poor man. Inez, how are you?
The gas stove.
Oh. And you, Mr. Garcin? Garcin?
12 bullets through my chest. Sorry, I fear I'm not good company among the dead.
Please, please don't say that word. It's so crude. It's terribly bad taste, really. It doesn't mean much anyhow. Somehow I feel we've never been so much alive as right now. If we've absolutely got to mention this state of things, I suggest we call ourselves, wait, absentees. How long have you been absent for?
About a month.
Oh, where do you come from?
From Rio.
Ooh, I'm from London. Have you anyone left down there?
Yes, my wife. She's waiting at the entrance of the barracks. She comes there every day, but they won't let her in. Now she's trying to peek between the bars. She doesn't know yet I'm absent, but she suspects it. Now she's going away. She's wearing a black dress. So much the better. She won't need to change. She isn't crying, but she never did cry anyhow. It's a bright sunny day and she likes the black shadow creeping down the empty street. Those big tragic eyes of hers. What a modern look they always had. Oh, how she got on my nerves.
Estelle.
Please, Mr. Garcin.
What is it?
You're sitting on my sofa.
Beg your pardon?
You look so far away. I'm sorry I disturbed you.
I was setting my life in order. You may laugh, but you'd do better to follow my example.
No need. My life's in perfect order. It tidied itself up quite nicely of its own accord, so I needn't bother about it now.
Really? You imagine it's so simple as that?
How
hot is it here? Do you mind if I...
How dare you? No, please don't. I loathe men in short sleeves.
All right. Of course, I used to spend my nights in the newspaper office that was a regular black hole, so we never kept our coats on. Stiflingly hot how it could be. Stifling that it is. It's right now. It's night now.
That's so. Olga's undressing. Must be after midnight. How quickly the time passes on Earth.
Yes, after midnight. They've sealed up my room. It's dark, pitch black, and empty.
They strung their coats on the back of the chairs and roll up shirt sleeves above the elbow. The air stinks of men and cigar smoke. I used to like living among men in their shirt sleeves.
Well, in that case, our tastes differ. That's all it proves. What about you, Inèz? Do you like men in their shirt sleeves?
Oh, I don't care much for men anyway.
Really, I can't imagine why they'd put three of us together. It doesn't make sense.
What's that you said?
Well, I'm looking at you two and thinking that we're going to live together. It's so absurd. I expected to meet old friends or relatives.
Yes, a charming old friend with a hole in the middle of his face.
Yes, him too. He danced the tango so divinely, like a professional. But why? Why should we, of all people, be put together?
Or fluke, I should say. They lodge folks as they can in the order of their coming. Why are you laughing?
Because you amuse me with your flukes, as if they left anything to chance. But I suppose you've got to reassure yourself somehow.
I wonder now, don't you think we may have met each other at some point in our lives?
Never. I shouldn't have forgotten you.
Or perhaps we might have friends in common. I wonder if you know the Dubois-Seymours.
Not likely.
But everyone went to their parties.
What's their job?
Oh, they don't do anything. But they have a lovely house in the country and hosts of people to visit them.
I didn't. I was a post office clerk.
Yes. Of course, in that case. And you, Mr. Garcin,
We've never met. I've always lived in Rio.
Then you must be right. It's mere chance that brought us together.
Mere chance? Then it's by chance this room is furnished as we see it. It's an accident that the sofa on the right is a livid green and that one on the left's wine red. Mere chance? Well, just try to shift the sofas and you'll see the difference quick enough. And that statue on the mantelpiece, do you think it's there by accident? And what about the heat here? How about that? I tell you, they've thought it all out, down to the last detail. Nothing was left to chance. This room was all set for us.
But really, everything's here so hideous. All in angles, so uncomfortable. Oof, I've always loathed angles.
And do you think I lived in a Second Empire drawing room?
Oh, so it was all fixed up beforehand.
Yes, and they've put us together deliberately.
Then it's not mere chance that you precisely are sitting opposite me, but what can be the idea behind it?
Ask me another. I only know they're waiting.
Oh, I could never bear the idea of anyone's expecting something from me. It's always made me want to do just the opposite.
Well, do it. Do it if you can. You don't even know what they expect.
Oh, it's outrageous! Outrageous! So something's coming to me from you too. Something nasty, I suppose. There are some faces that tell me everything at once. Yours don't convey anything.
Look here. Why are we together? You've given us quite enough hints. You may as well come out with it.
But I know nothing. Absolutely nothing about it. I'm as much in the dark as you are.
We've got to know.
If only each of us had the guts to tell.
How what?
Estelle,
Well, yes.
what have you done? I mean, why have they sent you here?
Just it. I haven't a notion, not the foggiest. In fact, I'm wondering if there hasn't been some ghastly mistake. Inez, don't smile. Just think of the number of people who become absentees every day. There must be thousands and thousands, and probably they're just sorted out by understrappers. You know what I mean. Stupid employees who don't do their jobs, so they're bound to make some mistakes sometimes. Don't stop. Do stop smiling, I mean. Do stop smiling, Garcin. Why don't you speak? If they have made a mistake in my case, they may have done the same to you. And to you too, Inez. Anyway, I think it's better to... Anyway, isn't it better to think we've got here by mistake?
Is that all you have to tell us?
Well, what else should I tell? I've nothing to hide. I lost my parents when I was a child, and I had my young brother to bring up. We were terribly poor, and when an old friend of my people asked me to marry him, I said yes. We were very well off and quite nice. My brother was a very delicate child and needed all sorts of attention, so really, that was the right thing for me to do. Don't you agree? My husband was old enough to be my father, but for 6 years we had a happy married life. And then 2 years ago, I've met the man I was fated to love. We knew it in the moment we set eyes on each other. He asked me to run away with him, and I refused. And then I got pneumonia, and it finished me. That's the whole story, no doubt, by certain standards. I did wrong to sacrifice my youth to a man nearly 3 times my age. Do you, Garcin, think that could be called a sin?
Certainly not. And now, tell me, do you think it's a crime to stand by one's principles?
Of course not. Surely no one could blame a man for that.
Wait a bit. I ran a pacifist newspaper, then war broke out. What was I to do? Everyone was watching me, wondering, will he dare? Well, I dared. I folded my arms and they shot me. Had I done anything wrong?
Wrong? On the contrary, you were...
The hero! And how about your wife, Mr. Garcin?
That's simple. I rescued her from the gutter.
You see?
Yes, I see. Look here, what's the point of play acting? Trying to throw dust in each other's eyes? We're all tarred with the same brush.
How very gay.
Yes, we are criminals, murderers, all three of us. We're in hell, my pets. They never make mistakes. And people aren't damned for nothing.
Stop! For heaven's sake!
In hell! Damned souls, that's us, all three.
Keep quiet, I forbid you from using such disgusting words.
A damned soul. That's you, my little plaster saint. And ditto our friend there, the noble pacifist. We've all had our hour of pleasure, haven't we? There have been people who burned their lives out for our sakes, and we chuckled over it. So now we have to pay the reckoning.
Will you keep your mouth shut, damn it?
Well. I understand now. I know why they've put us three together.
I advise you to think twice before you say any more.
Wait, you'll see how simple it is. Childishly simple. Obviously, there aren't any physical torments. You agree, don't you? And yet we're in hell, and no one else will come here. We'll stay in this room together, the three of us, forever and ever. In short, there's someone absent here, the official torturer.
I noticed that.
It's obvious what they're after, an economy of manpower, more devil power if you prefer. The same idea as the cafeteria where customers serve themselves.
Ever do you mean?
I mean that each of us will act as torturer of the two others.
Oh, I shall never be your torturer. I wish neither of you any harm. And I have no concern with you, not at all. So the solution's easy enough. Each of us stays put in his or her corner and takes no notice of the others. You here, and I there, like soldiers at our posts. Also, we mustn't speak, not one word. That won't be difficult. Each of us has plenty of material for self-communings. I think I could say 10,000 years with only my thoughts for company.
Have I got to keep silent too?
Yes. And that way we will work out our salvation, looking into ourselves, never raising our heads. Agreed?
Agreed.
I agree.
Then, goodbye.
With the taste of your lips, I'm gonna ride. You're toxic, I'm slipping under. Oh, I'm addicted to you. You know that you're toxic. You know what you do. You know that you're toxic. I don't know. I can read the lyrics to this song, but I don't know how they go. What a crowd in Whitefriars Lane. They have set trestles in a row with a scaffold and the knife and a pail of bran below. Come, good folks, to Whitefriars Lane. Come to see the merry show. The headsman rose at crack of dawn. He had a long day's work in hand, chopping heads off generals, priests and peers and admirals, all the highest in the land. What a crowd in Whitefriars Lane. See them standing in a line, ladies dressed up so fine, but their heads have got to go. Heads and hats roll down below. Come, good folks, to Whitefriars Lane. Come to see the merry show.
Excuse me. Garcin, do you have a glass? Any sort of glass, any pocket mirror will do. Hello? Oh, even if you won't speak to me, you might lend me a glass.
Don't worry, I have a glass in my bag. It's gone. They must have taken it from me at the entrance.
Tiresome.
Oh, what's the matter?
Well, I just feel so queer. Don't you ever just get taken that way? When I can't see myself, I begin to wonder if I really truly exist. I pat myself just to make sure, but it doesn't help much.
You're lucky. I'm always conscious of myself in my mind, painfully conscious.
Ah, yes, in your mind. But everything that goes on in one's head is so vague, isn't it? Makes one want to sleep. I've got 6 big mirrors in my bedroom. There they are. How empty. I can see them, but they don't see me. They're reflecting the carpet, the settee, the window. But how empty it is, a glass in which I'm absent. When I talk to people, I'm always made sure that there was one nearby in which I could see myself. I watched myself talking and somehow kept me alert. Seeing myself as the others saw me. Oh dear, my lipstick, I can't put it on. I'm sure it's all crooked. No, I can't do without a looking glass forever and ever. I simply can't.
Where's everybody gone?
We're trapped in hell. Well, bye.
Well, goodbye.
What?
Garcin is following stage direction.
Oh, is Salem playing Estelle now?
No, he's done.
Suppose I try to be your glass. Come and pay me a visit, dear. There's a place for you on my sofa.
But
No, he doesn't count.
we're going to hurt each other. You said it over yourself.
Do I look as if I wanted to hurt you?
Well, one can never tell.
It's much more likely you'll hurt me. So what does it matter? If I've got to suffer, it may as well be at your hands, your pretty hands. Sit down, come closer. Closer. Look into my eyes. What do you see?
Oh, I'm there! But I'm so tiny, I can't see myself properly.
But I can. Every inch of you. Now ask me questions. I'll be as candid as my looking glass.
Oh. Please, Mr. Garcin. Sure our chatter isn't bothering you?
Don't worry about him. As I said, he doesn't count. We're by ourselves. Ask away.
Are my lips all right?
Show me. No, they're a bit smudgy.
I thought as much. Luckily, no one's seen me. I'll try again.
That's better. No. Follow the line of your lips. Wait. I'll guide your hand. There. That's quite good.
As good as when I came in?
Far better. Cooler. Your mouth looks quite diabolical that way.
Good gracious. You say you like that? How maddening not to be able to see for yourself. Oh, you're quite sure, Miss Serrano. Is that all? That's it? All right now?
Won't you call me Inèz?
Are you sure it looks okay?
You're lovely, Estelle.
How can I rely upon your taste? Is it the same as my taste? And oh, how sickening it all is. Enough to drive one crazy!
I have your taste, my dear, because I like you so much. Look at me. No, straight. Now smile. I'm not so ugly either. Am I not nicer than your glass?
Oh, I don't know. Scare me, rather. My reflection in that glass never did that. Of course, I knew it so well, like something I'd tamed. I'm going to smile, and my smile will sink down into your pupils, and heaven knows what it will become.
And why shouldn't you tame me? Listen, I want you to call me Inèz. We must be great friends.
I don't make friends with women very easily.
Not with postal clerks, you mean? Hello, what's that? That nasty red spot at the bottom of your cheek. A pimple?
A pimple? Oh, sibling foul! Where?
There. You know the way they catch larks with a mirror? I'm your lark mirror, my dear, and you can't escape me. There isn't any pimple, not a trace of one. So what about it? Suppose the mirror started telling lies, or suppose I covered my eyes as he is doing and refused to look at you. All that loveliness of yours would be wasted on the desert air. No, don't be afraid. I can't help looking at you. I shan't turn my eyes away. And I'll be nice to you, ever so nice. Only you must be nice to me, too.
Are you really attracted by me?
Very much indeed.
Really, I wish he'd noticed me too.
Of course, because he's a man. You've won. But look at her, damn it. Don't pretend you haven't missed a word of what we've said.
Quite so. Not a word. I stuck my fingers in my ears, but your voices thudded in my brain. Silly chatter. Now, will you leave me in peace, you two? I'm not interested in you.
Not in me, perhaps, but how about this child? Aren't you interested in her? Oh, I saw through your game. You got on your high horse just to impress her.
I asked you to leave me in peace. There's someone talking about me in the newspaper office and I want to listen. And if it'll make you any happier, just let me tell you that I have no use for the child, as you call her.
Thanks.
Oh, I didn't mean it rudely.
You cad!
So that's that. You know, I begged you not to speak.
It's her fault. She started. I didn't ask anything of her, and she came and offered me her glass.
So you say, but all the time you were making up to him, trying every trick to catch his attention.
Well, why shouldn't I?
You're crazy, both of you. Don't you see where this is leading us? For pity's sake, keep your mouth shut. Now, let's all sit down again quietly. We'll look at the floor, and each must try to forget the others are there.
A longish silence. The women return hesitantly to their places. Suddenly, Inèz swings round to him.
To forget about the others? How utterly absurd! I feel you there in every pore. Your silence clamors in my ears. You can't nail up your mouth, cut your tongue out, but you can't prevent your being there. Can you stop your thoughts? I hear them ticking away like a clock, tick-tock, tick-tock, and I'm certain you hear mine. It's all very well skulking on your sofa, but you're everywhere, and every sound comes to me soiled because you've intercepted it on its way. Why, you've even stolen my face. You know it, and I don't. And what about her? About Estelle? You've stolen her from me. You've stolen her from me, too. If she and I were alone, do you suppose she'd treat me as she does? No, take your hands from your face. I won't leave you in peace. That would suit your book too well. You'd go on sitting there in a sort of trance like a yogi, and even if I didn't see her, I'd feel it in my bones that she was making every sound, even the rustle of her dress, for your benefit, throwing you smiles you didn't see. Well, I won't stand for that. I prefer to choose my hell. I prefer to look you in the eyes and fight it out face to face.
Have it your own way. I suppose we were bound to come to this. They knew what they were about and were easy game. If they put me in a room with men, men can keep their mouths shut. But it's no use wanting the impossible. So I attract you, little girl? It seems you were making eyes at me.
Don't touch me.
Why not? We might, anyhow, be natural. Do you know, I used to be... Oh, this is so... Do you know, I used to be mad about women, and some were fond of me. So we all may as well stop posing. We have nothing to lose. Why trouble about politeness, decorum, the rest of it? We're between ourselves, and presently we should be naked as newborn babes.
Oh, let me be.
As newborn babes, well, I warned you, anyhow. As so little of you, nothing but peace and a little silence. I put my fingers in my ears. Gomez was spouting away as usual, standing in the center of the room with all the pressmen listening in their shirt sleeves. I tried to hear, but it wasn't too easy. Things unearthed me so quickly, you know. Couldn't have held your tongues? No, it's over. He stopped talking. What he thinks of me has gone back into his head. Well, we've got to see through it somehow. Naked as we were born. So much the better. I want to know whom I have to deal with.
You know already. There's nothing more to learn.
You're wrong. So long as each of us hasn't made a clean breast of it, why they've damned him or her, we know nothing. Nothing that counts. You, young lady, you shall begin. Why? Tell us why, if you are frank. If we bring our specters into the open, it may save us from disasters. So, out with it. Why?
I tell you, I haven't a notion. They wouldn't tell me why.
That's so. They wouldn't tell me either, but I have a pretty good idea. Perhaps you're high of speaking first. I'll lead off. I'm not a very estimable person.
No need to tell us that. We know you're a deserter.
Let that be. It's only a side issue. I'm here because I treated my wife abominably. That's all. For 5 years. Naturally, she's suffering still. There she is. The moment I mention her, I see her. It's Gomez who interests me, and it's she I see. Where's Gomez got to? For 5 years. There. I give her back my things. She's sitting by the window, my coat on her knees. The coat with the 12 bullet holes. The blood's like rust. A blur ring round each hole. It's quite a museum piece, that coat, scarred with history. I used to wear it. Fancy. Now, can't you shed a tear, my love? Surely they'll squeeze one out at last. No? You can't manage it? Night after night, I came home blind drunk, stinking of wine and women. She sat up for me, of course, but she never cried, never uttered a word of reproach. Only eyes never spoke. Big, tragic eyes. I don't regret anything. I must pay the price. But I shan't whine. It's snowing in the street. Will you cry, confound you? A woman was a born martyr, you know, a victim by vocation.
Why did you hurt her like that?
Oh, that was...
It was so easy. A word was enough to make her flinch, like a sensitive plant. But never, never a reproach. I'm fond of teasing. I watched and waited, but no, not a tear, not a protest. I picked her up out of the gutter, you understand. And she's stroking the coat. Her eyes are shut. She's feeling with her fingers for the bullet holes. What are you after? What do you expect? I tell you I regret nothing. The truth is, she admired me too much. Does that mean anything to you?
No, nobody admired me.
So much the better. So much the better for you. I suppose all the strikes you is very vague. Well, here's something you can't get your teeth into. I bought a half-caste girl to stay in our house. My wife slept upstairs. She must have heard everything. She was an early riser, and as I and the girl stayed in bed late, she scissors us some morning coffee.
You brute!
Yes, a brute if you like, but a well-beloved. This guy's such a misogynistic dick. but a well-beloved brute. No, it's nothing. Only Gomez. He's not talking about me. What were you saying? Yes, a brute, certainly. Else why should I be here? Your turn.
Well, I was what some people down there called a damned bitch. Damned already. So it's no surprise being here.
Is that all you have to say?
No. There was that affair with Florence, a dead man's tale, with 3 corpses to it. He to start with, then she and I. So there's no one left. I have nothing to worry about. It was a clean sweep. Only that room, I see it now and then, empty with the doors locked. No, they've just unlocked them. To let. It's to let. There's a notice on the door. That's too ridiculous.
3? 3 deaths, you said?
3.
1 man and 2 women?
Yes.
Well. Did he kill himself?
He? No, he hadn't the guts for that. Still, he'd every reason. We led him a dog's life. As a matter of fact, he was run over by a tram. Silly sort of end. I was living with them. He was my cousin.
Was Florence fair?
Fair. You know, I don't regret a thing. Still, I'm not so very keen on telling you the story.
That's all right. So you got sick of him?
Quite gradually. All sorts of little things got on my nerves. For instance, he made a noise while he was drinking, a sort of gurgle. Trifles like that. He was rather pathetic, really. Vulnerable. Why are you smiling?
Because I, anyhow, am not vulnerable.
Don't be too sure. I crept inside her skin. She saw the world through my eyes. When she left him, I had her on my hands. We shared a bed-sitting room at the other end of the town.
And then?
And then that tram did its job. I used to remind her every day, yes, my pet, we killed him between us. I'm rather cruel, really.
So am I.
No, you're not cruel. It's something else.
What?
I'll tell you later. When I say I'm cruel, I mean I can't get on without making people suffer, like a live coal in others' hearts. When I'm alone, I flicker out. For 6 months, I flamed away in her heart till there was nothing but a cinder. One night she got up and turned on the gas while I was asleep. Then she crept into bed. So now you know.
Well.
Yes? What's in your mind?
Nothing. Only that it's not a pretty story.
Obviously. But what matter?
As you say, what matter? Your turn. What have you done?
Oh, as I told you, I haven't a notion. I racked my brain, but it's no use.
Right. I will give you a hint. That fellow with the smashed face, who was he?
Who do you mean?
You know quite well. That man you were so scared of seeing when you came in.
Oh, him. Just a friend of mine.
Why were you afraid of him?
That is my business, Mr. Garcin.
Did he shoot himself on your account?
Of course not. How absurd are you?
Then why should you have been so scared? He blew his brains out, didn't he? That's how his face got smashed.
Please don't go on.
Because of you. Because of you.
He shot himself because of you.
Leave me alone! Not fair. It's not fair bullying me like that. I want to go. I want to go.
Go if you can. Personally, I ask for nothing better. Unfortunately, the door's locked.
Buzz. You're hateful, Buzz. Both of you.
Hateful? Yes, that's the word. Now get on with it. That fellow who killed himself on your account. You were his mistress, eh?
Of course she was. And he wanted to have her to himself alone. That's so, isn't it?
He danced the tango like a professional, but he was poor as a church mouse. That's right, isn't it?
Was he poor or not? Give a straight answer.
Yes, he was.
And then you had your reputation to keep up. One day he came and implored you to run away with him, and you just laughed in his face.
That's it. You laughed at him, and so he killed himself.
Did you used to look at Florence in that way?
Yes.
Short pause. You've got it all wrong, you two. He wanted me to have a baby. So
And you
there.
didn't want one?
I certainly didn't. But the baby came. Worse luck. I went to Switzerland for 5 months. No one knew anything. It was a girl. Roger was with me when she was born. Pleased him to no end. Having a daughter. Didn't please me.
And then?
There was a balcony overlooking the lake. I brought a big stone. He could see what I was up to, and he kept shouting, Estelle, for God's sakes, don't! I hated him then. He saw it all. He was leaning over the balcony, and he saw the rings spreading on the water.
Yes, and then?
That's all. I came back to London and did his English.
You mean he blew his brains out?
It was absurd of him, really. My husband never suspected anything. Oh, how I loathe you!
Nothing doing. Tears don't flow in this place.
I'm a coward! A coward! If you knew how I hate you.
Poor child. So the hearing's over, but there's no need to look like a hanging judge.
A hanging judge? I'd give a lot to be able to see myself in the glass. How hot it is. Oh, sorry.
Oh, don't bother. You can stay in your shirt sleeves as things are.
Just so. You mustn't be angry with me, Estelle.
I'm not angry with you.
And what about me? Are you angry with me?
Yes.
Well, Mr. Garcin, now you have us in the nude, all right. Do you understand things any better for that?
I wonder. Yes, perhaps a trifle better.
Okay.
Sorry, a demon just came by.
A demon?
It's really intense, really intense. But we made it through. Okay, Jesus. Okay. I wonder. Yes, perhaps a trifle better. Now suppose we start trying to help each other.
I don't need help.
Inèz, they've laid their snare damn cunningly, like a cobweb. If you make any movement, if you raise your hand to fan yourself, Estelle and I feel a little tug. Alone, none of us can move, can save him or herself. We're linked together inextricably, so you can take your choice. Hello? What's happening?
They've let it. The windows are wide open. A man is sitting on my bed. My bed, if you please. They've let it, let it. Step in, make yourself at home, you brute. Oh, there's a woman too. She's going up to him, putting her hands on his shoulders. Damn it, why don't they turn the lights on? It's getting dark. Now he's going to kiss her. But that's my room. My room. Pitch dark now. I can't see anything, but I hear them whispering. Is he going to make love to her on my bed? What's that she said? That it's noon and the sun is shining? I must be going blind. Blacked out. I can't see or hear a thing. So I'm done with the earth, it seems. No more alibis for me. I feel so empty, desiccated, really dead at last. All of me's here in this room. What were you saying? Something about helping me, wasn't it?
Yes,
Helping me to do what?
to defeat their devilish tricks.
And what do you expect me to do in return?
To help me. It only needs a little effort, Inez. Just a spark of human feeling.
Human feeling. That's beyond my range. I'm rotten to the core.
And how about me? All the same, suppose we try?
It's no use, I'm all dried up. I can't give and I can't receive. How could I help you? A dead twig, ready for burning. Florence was fair, a natural blonde.
Do you realize that this young woman's fated to be your torturer?
Perhaps I've guessed it.
It's through her they'll get to you. I, of course, I'm different, aloof. I take no notice of her. Suppose you had to try.
Yes?
It's a trap. They're watching you to see if you'll fall into it.
I know, and you're another trap. Do you think they haven't foreknown every word you say? And of course, there's a whole nest of pitfalls that we can't see. Everything here is a booby trap. But what do I care? I'm a pitfall too. For her, obviously. And perhaps I'll catch her.
You won't catch anything. We're chasing after each other, round and round in a vicious circle like the horses on a roundabout. That's part of their plan. Of course. Drop it, Inez. Open your hands and let go of everything, or you'll bring disaster on all three of us.
Do I look like the sort of person who lets go? I know what's coming to me. I'm going to burn and it's to last forever. Yes, I know everything. But do you think I'll let go? I'll catch her. She'll see you through my eyes as Florence saw that other man. What's the good of trying to enlist my sympathy? I assure you I know everything and I can't feel sorry even for myself. A trap? Don't I know it? And that I'm a trap myself up to the neck? In a trap myself up to the neck and there's nothing to be done about it? If it suits their book, so much the better.
Well, I, anyhow, can feel sorry for you too. Look at me. We're naked. Naked right through. And I can see into your heart. That's one link between us. Do you think I'd want to hurt you? I don't regret anything. I'm dried up too. But for you, I can still feel pity.
Don't. I hate being pawed about. And keep your pity for yourself. Don't forget, Garcin, there are traps for you too in this room, all nicely set for you. You'd do better to watch your own interests. But if you will leave us in peace, this child and me, I'll see I don't do you any harm.
Very well.
Please, Garcin.
What do you want of me?
You can help me anyhow.
If you want help, apply to her.
Inez has come up and is standing behind Estelle, but without touching her. During the dialogue, the fellow she speaks almost in her ear. But Estelle keeps her eyes on Garcin, who observes her without speaking, and she addresses her answers to him, as if it were he who is questioning her.
I implore you, Garcin. You gave me your promise, didn't you? Help me quick. I don't want to be left alone. Olga's taken him to a cabaret.
Taken whom?
Peter. Oh, now they're dancing together.
Who's Peter?
Such a silly boy. He called me his glancing stream. Just fancy. He was terribly in love with me. She persuaded him to come out with her tonight.
Do you love him?
They're sitting down now. She's puffing like a grumpus. What a fool the girl is to insist on dancing. But I dare say she does it to a deuce. No, of course I don't love him. He's only 18. I'm not a baby snatcher.
Sorry, I lost my place. Fucking PDFs. Then why bother about them? What difference can it make?
He belonged to me.
Nothing on this earth belongs to you anymore.
I tell you, he was mine. All mine.
Yes, he was yours once, but now try to make him hear. Try to touch him. Olga can touch him. Talk to him as much as she likes. That's so, isn't it? She can squeeze his hands, rub herself against him.
Oh, yes, look. Oh, she's pressing her big, fat chest against him, puffing and blowing in his face. Oh, but my poor little lamb, can't you see how ridiculous she is? Why don't you laugh at her? I'd have only had a glance. Once I'd have only had to glance at him, and she'd have slunk away. So really, nothing left of me.
Nothing whatsoever. Nothing's left of you on earth, not even a shadow. All you own is here. Would you like that paper knife, or that ornament on the mantelpiece? That blue sofa's yours, and I, my dear, am yours forever.
You? Mine? That's good. Well, which of you two would dare to call me his glancing stream, his crystal girl? You don't do much about me. You know I'm rotten through and through. Peter, dear, think of me. Fix your thoughts on me and save me. All the time you're thinking, my glancing stream, my crystal girl. I'm only half there. I'm only half here. I'm only half wicked. And half of me is down there with you, clean and bright and crystal clear as running water. Oh, just look at her face, all scarlet like a beet. No, it's absurd. We've laughed at her together, you and I, often and often. What's the tune? I've always loved it. Your St. Louis blues. All right, dance away, dance away. Garcin, I wish you could see her. You'd die of laughing. Only she'll never know I see her. So, yes, I see you, Olga, with your hair all anyhow, and you do look a dope, my dear. Oh, now you're now you're treading on his toes. It's a scream. Hurry up, quicker, quicker. He's dragging her along, bundled her around. It's too ghastly. He always said I was so light. He loved to dance with me. I began dancing. I tell you, Olga, I can see you. No, she doesn't care. She's dancing through my gaze. What's that? What's that? What's that you said? Oh, dear poor Estelle. Oh, pfft. Don't be such a humbug. You didn't even shed a tear at the funeral. And she has the nerve to talk to him about her poor dear friend Estelle. How dare she discuss me with Peter? Now then, keep time. She can never dance and talk at once. Ooh, what's that? No, don't tell him. No, please don't tell him. You can keep him, do whatever you like, but please don't tell him. Please don't tell him. Please don't tell him that. I stopped dancing. All right. You can have him now. Isn't it foul, Garcin? She's told him everything about Roger, my trip to Switzerland. The baby. Poor Estelle wasn't exactly... No, it wasn't exactly true enough. He's looking grave, shaking his head, and he doesn't seem very much surprised. Not what one would expect. Keep him then. I won't haggle with you over his long eyelashes, his pretty girlish face. They're yours. They're yours for the asking. His glancing stream is crystal, while the crystal shatters into bits. Poor Estelle! Dance, dance, dance on with it! Do keep time. Oh, I'd love to go down to earth for just a minute and dance with him. I mean, how I'd like to go down to earth for a moment and dance with him. I dance for a few moments. Music's growing fainter. They've turned down the lights as they do for the tango. Why are they playing so softly? Louder, please. I can't hear. It's so far away. I can't hear a sound. I stopped dancing. All over. It's the end. The earth has left me. Please don't turn from me, Garcin. Please. Take me in your arms.
Now then, Garcin.
It's to her you should say that.
Don't turn away. You're a man, aren't you? And surely I'm not that furtive at all. Everyone says I've lovely hair and all. And after all, a man killed himself on my account. You have to look at something, and there's nothing here to see except the sofas and that awful ornament, the table. Surely I'm better to look at than a lot of stupid furniture. Listen! I've dropped out there. I've dropped out of little sparrow fallen from its nest. So gather me up, dear, fold me into your heart, and you'll see how nice I can be.
Tell you, it's to that lady you should speak.
To her? Wait. To her? But she doesn't count. She's a woman.
Oh, I don't count. Is that what you think? But my poor little fallen nestling, you've been sheltering my heart for ages, though you didn't realize it. Don't be afraid. I'll keep looking at you forever and ever without a flutter of my eyelids, and you'll live in my gaze like a mote in the sunbeam.
A sunbeam indeed. Don't talk such rubbish. You've tried that trick already, and you should know it doesn't work.
Estelle, my glancing stream, my crystal.
Your crystal? It's grotesque and a little homophobic. Don't you think you can fool me? Don't you think you can fool me with that sort of talk? Everyone knows by now what I did to my baby. I threw it in the river with a rock. I don't care. I'm just a hollow dummy. All that's left of me is the outside. But it's not for you.
Come to me, Estelle. You shall be whatever you like, a glancing stream, a muddy stream. And deep down in my eyes, you'll see yourself just as you want to be.
Leave me in peace. You haven't any eyes. Oh, damn it. Isn't there anything I can do to get rid of you? I have an idea. There.
Garcin, you shall pay for this.
No, it's a man you need.
Not any man. You.
No, humbug man. Any man would do your business. As I happen to be here, you want me, right? Mind, I'm not your sort of all, really. I'm not a young micro nincompoop, and I don't dance the tango.
Oh, I'll take you as you are, and perhaps I shall change you.
I doubt it. I shan't pay much attention. I have other things to think about.
Oh, what sort of things?
They wouldn't interest you.
I'll sit on your sofa and wait for you to take some notice of me. I promise not to bother you at all.
That's right, fawn on him like the silly bitch you are. Grovel and cringe. And he hasn't even good looks to commend him.
No, don't you listen to her. She has no eyes. She has no ears. She's nothing.
I'll give you what I can. It doesn't amount to much. I shan't love you. I know you too well.
Do you want me anyhow?
Yes.
I ask no more.
In that case,
Oh,
Estelle, Garcin, you must be going crazy. You're not here alone. I'm here too. Oh no.
but of course, what does it matter?
Under my eyes, you couldn't do it.
why not? I've often undressed with my maid looking on.
Leave her alone. Don't paw her with your dirty man's hands.
Take care. I'm no gentleman. I have no compunction about striking a woman.
But you promised me. You promised. I'm only asking you to keep your word.
Why should I? Considering you're the first to break our agreement.
Very well, have it your own way. I'm the weaker party, 1 against 2. But don't forget I'm here and watching. I shan't take my eyes off you. Garcin, when you're kissing her, you'll feel them boring into you. Yes, have it your own way. Make love and get it over. We're in hell. My turn will come.
Now then, your lips. Give me your lips.
He bends to kiss her, then abruptly straightens up. Really? Didn't I tell you not to pay attention to her?
You've got it wrong. It's Gomez. He's back in the press room. They shut the windows. It must be winter down there. 6 months since I warned you to be absent-minded sometimes, didn't I? They're shivering. They're keeping their coats on. Funny they should feel cold like that when I'm feeling so hot. This time he's talking about me.
Is it going to last long? Well, you might at least tell me what he's saying.
Nothing worth repeating. He's a swine, that's all. A goddamn bloody swine. Let's come back to ourselves. Are you going to love me?
Oh, I wonder now.
Will you trust me?
What a quaint thing to ask. Considering you'll be under my eyes all the time, and I don't think I've much to fear from Inèz. So as far as you're concerned.
Obviously.
Oh.
I was thinking of another kind of trust. Talk away, you swine. I'm not there to offend myself. Estelle, you must give me your trust.
Oh, what a nuisance you are. I'm giving you my mouth, my arms, my whole body, and everything can be so simple. My trust. I have everything I need to give, I'm afraid, and you're making me terribly embarrassed. You must have said something pretty ghastly. You must have something pretty ghastly on your conscience to make such a fuss about my trusting you.
They shot me.
I know, because you've refused to fight. Well, why shouldn't you?
I didn't exactly refuse. I must say he talks well. He makes it a good case against me. But he never says what I should have done instead. Should I have gone to the general and said, General, I decline to fight? A mug's game. They'd have probably locked me up. But I want to show my colors, my true colors. Do you understand? I wasn't going to be silenced. So I took the train. They caught me at the frontier.
Where were you trying to go?
To Mexico. I meant to launch a pacifist newspaper down there. Well, why don't you speak?
Well, what could I say? You acted quite rightly, as you didn't want to fight. But darling, how on earth can I guess what you want me to answer?
Can't you guess? Well, I can. He wants you to tell him that he bolted like a lion. For bolt he did, and that's what's biting him.
Bolted. Went away. We won't quarrel over words.
But you had to run away. If you'd stayed there, they'd send you to jail, wouldn't they?
Of course. Well, Estelle, am I a coward?
Well, how can I say? Don't be so unreasonable, darling. I can't put myself in your skin. You must decide that for yourself.
I can't decide.
Well, anyhow, you must remember, you must have had reasons for acting as you did.
I had.
Well,
But were they real reasons?
you've a twisted mind. That's your trouble. Plaguing yourself over such trifles.
I thought it all out and I wanted to make a stand, but was that my real motive?
Exactly. That's the question. Was that your real motive? No doubt you argued it out with yourself. You weighted the pros and cons. You found good reasons for what you did. But fear and hatred and all the dirty little instincts one keeps dark, they're motives too. So carry on, Mr. Garcin, and try to be honest with yourself for once.
Do I need you to tell me that? Day and night, I pace myself, from the windows to the door, from the door to the window. I pried into my heart. I silenced myself like a detective. By the end of it, I felt as if I'd given my whole life to introspection. But always, I harked back to the one thing certain, that I acted as I did. I'd taken the train to the frontier, but the why? Why? Finally, I thought, my death will settle it. If I face death courageously, I'll prove I am no coward.
And how did you face death?
Miserably. It was only a physical lapse that might happen to anyone. I'm not ashamed of it. Only everything's been left in my suspense for forever. Come here, Estelle. Look at me. I want to feel someone looking at me while they're talking about me on Earth. I like green eyes.
Green eyes. Just hark to him. And you, Estelle, do you like cowards?
Oh, if you knew how little I care. Oh, coward or hero is all one, provided he kisses well.
There they are, slumped in their chairs, sucking at their cigars. Bored they look, half asleep. They're thinking, Garcin's a coward, but only vaguely, dreamily. One's got to think of something. That chap Garcin was a coward. That's what they've decided, those dear friends of mine. In 6 months' time, they'll be saying, cowardly as that skunk Garcin. You're lucky you knew to. No one on earth is going to give you another thought. but I'm long and dying.
What about your wife, Garcin?
Oh, didn't I tell you? She's dead.
Dead?
Yes, she died just now, about 2 weeks ago.
Of grief?
What else should she die of? So, what else should she die of? So all this for the best, you see. The war is over, my wife's dead, and I've carved out my place in history.
My poor, poor darling. Look at me. Please, look. Touch me. Touch me. There. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, don't move. Why trouble what these men are thinking? They'll die off one by one. Forget them. There's only me now.
But they won't forgive me. Not they. They'll die, but others will come after them to carry on the legend. I've left my fate in their hands.
You think too much. That's your trouble.
What else is there to do now? I was a man of action once. Oh, if I only could be with them again, just for one day. I'd fling their lie in their teeth, but I'm locked out. They're passing judgment on my life without troubling about me. And they're right, because I'm dead. Dead and done with. Back number.
Garcin.
Still there? Now listen, I want you to do me a service. No, don't shrink away. I know it must seem strange to you, having someone asking for your help. You're not used to that. But if you'll make the effort, if you only will it hard enough, I dare say we can really love each other. Look at it this way. 1,000 of them are proclaiming I'm a coward. But what do numbers matter? If there's someone, just one person, to say quite positively I did not run away, that I'm not the sort who runs away, that I'm brave and decent and the rest of it, well, that's the one person's faith who'd save me. Will you have that faith in me? Then I shall love and cherish you forever. Estelle, will you?
Dear silly man, do you think I could actually love a coward?
But just now you said.
Oh, I was only teasing you. I like men, my dear, who are real men with tough skin and strong hands. You haven't a coward's chin or a coward's mouth or a coward's voice or a coward's hair. And it's for your mouth, it's your hair, your voice. I love you.
Do you mean this? Really mean it?
Shall I swear it?
Then I snap my fingers at them all. Those below and those in here. Estelle, we shall climb out of hell. What's that?
But she doesn't mean a word of what she says. How can you be such a simpleton? Estelle, am I a coward? As if she cared a damn either way.
Inez! How dare you? Don't listen to her. If you want to have faith in you, you must begin by trusting me.
That's right, trust away. She wants a man, that far you can trust her. She wants a man's arm round her waist, a man's smell, a man's eyes glowing with desire, and that's all she wants. She'd assure you you were God Almighty if she thought it would give you pleasure.
Estelle, is this true? Answer me! Is it true?
What do you expect me to say? Don't you realize how maddening it is to have to answer questions one can't make head nor tail of. You do make things difficult. Anyhow, I'd love you just the same, even if you were a coward. Isn't that enough?
You disgust me. Both of you.
Oh, what are you up to?
I'm going.
You won't get far. The door is locked.
I'll make them open it.
Please, please, please.
Don't worry, my pet. The bell does not work.
I tell you, they shall open it. I can't endure it any longer. I'm through with you both. Go away. You're even fouler than she. I won't let myself get bogged in your eyes. You're soft and slimy. Ugh. Like an octopus, like a quagmire.
I beg you, I beg you not to leave me. I'll promise not to speak again. I won't trouble you in any way. Don't go. I daren't want to be left alone with Inèz. Now she's shown her claws.
Look after yourself. I never asked you to come here.
Oh, how mean you are. Well, yes, it's quite true. You're a coward.
Well, my little sparrow fallen from the nest, I hope you're satisfied now. You spat in my face, playing up to him, of course, and we had a tiff on his account, but he's going, and a good riddance it will be. We two women will have the place to ourselves.
You won't gain anything. If that door opens, I'm going to...
Where?
I don't care where. As far from you as I can.
Open the door. Open, blast you. I'll endure anything. Your red-hot tongs and molten lead, your racks and prongs and garrets, all your finished gadgets, everything that burns and flays and tears. I'll put up with any torture you impose. Anything. Anything would be better than this agony of mine, this creeping pain that gnaws and fumbles and caresses one and never hurts quite enough. Now, will you open?
The door opens.
Well, Garcin, you're free to go.
Now I wonder why the door opened.
What are you waiting for? Hurry up and go.
Shall not go.
And you, Estelle? So what? What shall it be? Which of the three of us will leave? The barrier's down. Why are we waiting? But what a situation. It's a scream. We're inseparables.
I spring at her from behind. Inseparables? Garcin, come, lend me a hand. Quickly! We'll push her out and slam the bloody door. That'll teach her a lesson.
Oh, Estelle, I beg of you, let me stay. I won't go, not into the passage.
Let go of her.
You're crazy. She hates you.
It's because of her I'm staying here.
Because of me? All right, shut the door. It's 10 times hotter here since it opened. Because of me, you said.
Yes. You. Anyhow, know what it means to be a coward?
Yes, I know.
And you know what wickedness is? And shame and fear? There were days when you peered into yourself, into the secret places of your heart, and what you saw there made you faint with horror. And the next day you didn't know what to make of it. You couldn't interpret the horror you'd glimpsed the day before. Yes, you know what the evil costs. But when you say I'm a coward, you know from experience what that means. Is that so?
Yes.
So it's you who I'm going to have to convince. You are of my kind. Did you suppose I meant to go? No, I couldn't leave you here, gloating over my defeat with all those thoughts about me running in your head.
Do you really wish to convince me?
That's the one and only thing I wish for now. I can't hear them any longer, you know. Probably that means they're through with me, for good and all. The curtain's down. Nothing of me is left on earth, not even the name of a coward. So Inez, we're alone. Only you two remain to give a thought to me. She doesn't count. It's you who matter. You who hate me. If you'll have a faith in me, I'm saved.
It won't be easy. Have a look at me. I'm a hard-headed woman.
I'll give you all the time that's needed.
Well, yes, we've lots of time in hand. All time.
Listen, each man has an aim in life, a leading motive. That's so, isn't it? Well, I don't give a damn for wealth or for love. I aim to being a real man, a tough, as they say. So I stick everything on the same horse. Can one possibly be a coward when one's deliberately courted danger at every turn? And can one judge a life by a single action?
Why not? For 30 years, you dreamt you were a hero and condoned 1,000 petty lapses, because a hero, of course, can do no wrong. An easy method, obviously. Then a day came when you were up against it in the red light of real danger, and you took the train to Mexico.
I dreamt, you say. It was no dream. When I chose the hardest path, I made my choice deliberately. A man is what he wills himself to be.
Prove it. Prove it was no dream. It's what one does and nothing else that shows the stuff one's made of.
I died too soon. I wasn't allowed time to do my deeds.
One always dies too soon or too late. And yet one's whole life is complete at that moment with a line drawn neatly under it, ready for the summing up. You are your life and nothing else.
What a poisonous woman you are. I can answer for everything.
Now then, don't lose heart. It shouldn't be so hard convincing me. Pull yourself together, man. Rake up some arguments. Wasn't I right when I said you were vulnerable? Now you're going to pay the price, and what a price! You're a coward, Garcin, because I wish it. I wish it, do you hear? I wish it. And yet just look at me. See how weak I am, a mere breath on the air, a gaze observing you, a formless thought that thinks you. Ah, they're open now, those big hands, those coarse man's hands. But what do you hope to do? You can't throttle thoughts with hands. So you've no choice. You must convince me, and you're at my mercy.
Garcin!
What?
Revenge yourself!
How?
Ooh, kiss me, darling, and then you'll hear her squeal.
That's true, Inez. I'm at your mercy, but you're as mine as well.
Oh, you coward, you weakling, running to women to console you.
Oh, that's right, Inez. Squeal away.
What a lovely pair you make. If you could only see his big paw splayed on your back, rucking up your skin, increasing the silk. Be careful, though. He's perspiring. His hand will leave a blue stain on your dress.
Squeal away, Inez. Squeal away. Hug me tight, darling. Oh, tighter still with those big man hands. That'll finish her off, and a good thing, too.
Yes, Garcin, she's right. Carry on with it. Press her to you till you feel your bodies melting into each other, a lump of warm, throbbing flesh. Love's a grand solace, isn't it, my friend? Deep and dark as sleep, but I'll see you don't sleep.
Ooh, don't listen to her. Press her lips into my mouth. Ooh, I'm yours, I'm yours.
Well, what are you waiting for? Do as you're told. What a lovely scene. Coward Garcin holding baby killer Estelle in his manly arms. Make your stakes, everyone. Will Coward Garcin kiss the lady or won't he? Where's the betting? I'm watching you. Everyone's watching. I'm in a crowd all by myself. Do you hear the crowd? Do you hear them muttering, Garcin? Mumbling and muttering, coward, 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 coward. That's what they're saying. It's no use trying to escape. I'll never let you go. What do you hope to gain from her silly lips? Forgetfulness? But I shan't forget you, not I. It's I who must convince. So come to me. I'm waiting. Come along now. Look how obedient he is, like a well-trained dog who comes when his mistress calls. You can't hold him, and you never will.
Night never come.
Never.
You will always see me.
Always.
Garcin moves away from Estelle and takes some step across the room. He goes to the bronze ornament.
It's bronze. Yes. Now's the moment. I'm looking at this thing on the mantelpiece and I understand that I'm in hell. Everything's been thought out beforehand. They knew I'd stand at the fireplace stroking this thing of bronze with all the eyes intent on me, devouring me. What? Only two of you? I thought there were more, many more. So, this is hell. And I've never believed it. You remember all we were told about the torture chambers, the fire, the brimstone, the burning marl, old wives' tales. There's no need for red hot pokers. Hell is other people.
He said the line!
Darling, please.
No, let me be. She's between us. I cannot love you when she's watching.
Right, in that case, I'll stop watching her. Right, in that case, I'll stop her watching.
Stab, 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 stab.
Ah!
But you crazy creature, what do you think you're doing? You know quite well I'm dead.
Dead?
Dead! Dead, 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 dead! Knives, ropes, poison, all useless. It's happened already, do you understand? Once and for all. So here we are, forever.
Forever. Oh my God, how funny.
Forever and never and ever.
The end.
No.
Well, let's get on with it.
The end.
Well, the end.
Curtain.
Oh, yes, yes, oh, yes.
It's over.
That's why I ran off stage.
Hey.
Flowers, flowers, flowers. Let them take a bow as well.
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Honey.
Can't forget the cat speed manager coming. Oh, that was amazing.